friends, today we are going to talk about the author of the poem William Blake, his life and his times. About the poet. William Blake was an English poet, painter and publisher. He was born at 28 Broad Street in Soho, London, and was the third of 7 children. He was not very popular when he was alive, but today he is considered one of the most important figures in the history of poetry. His father recognized his artistic talents and sent him to study at a drawing school when he was just 10 years old. As a young man, Blake had worked as an illustrator, drawing teacher, and engraver. He published almost all of his works himself. Theme in Blake's poetry. His ideas are highly inspired by the ideals of French Revolution, liberty, equality, fraternity. His poems are based on the broad theme of man's fall from grace. He idealizes childhood as a time of innocence, and his poems always lament the loss of innocence. He was one of the Romantic poets, and hence his poetry is known for praising and upholding nature as a source of beauty, awe, and inspiration. He puts great emphasis on creativity and imagination and equates them with the innocence of childhood. Famous works. All religions are one. There is no natural religion. Songs of Innocence. The Book of Hell. The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. Continental for Ephesus. Visions of the Daughters of Albion. Achievement. The Blake Prize for Religious Art is given out annually in Australia for achievements in art. The Blake Society established the annual Blake Poetry Prize for achievements in poetry. Famous lines from Blake's poems. A truth that's told with bad intent beats all the lines you can invent. If the doors of preceptation were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is. Infinite, for man has closed himself up till he sees all things through narrow chinks of his cavern. I must create a system or be enslaved by another man's. I will not reason and compare. My business is to create. To see a world in a grain of sand, and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. By Argues of Innocence. Thank you, friends.